Don't you know if you got to rob, steal, lie, and all that to get money, that ain't God. That ain't money. That ain't coming from God. If you're in a successful situation in your life and you rob people, you lie to people to get that money, that ain't God. God didn't give you that. That's the devil. Because God is not the author of confusion, and He is not to lie. So, you see people, and that's why I said, this pastor was saying one day, you walking around here envying people because of what they have. You don't know what they're having to do to get what they got, what they're doing without, the sacrifices they had to make. Is it legal what they're doing, or are they getting it under false pretenses, or are they lying? You don't know. You don't know how people get what they're getting. How do you? Well, I don't feel like I know. If you're having to do anything illegal to be successful, that's not success, baby. True success is you're in a situation you can pay your own bills, you can buy your own food, you can take your own vacations. I saw a guy on YouTube say the other day, and it's true. He said, "You're not independent. You're not. If you're relying on government assistance to pay your bills, that's not being independent." Good morning, happy Wednesday. It's hump day, y'all. It's hump day. 2 more days. Let's make it a good day. Thank God for waking us up this morning in our right mind with the activity of our limbs, somewhere to sleep, somewhere to rise, somewhere to go to work, somewhere to drive. Just be thankful, Lord, for everything, little and small. This pastor, I remember, he said he grew up in Africa. He thanked God for toilet paper. Woo! Just the things we take for granted. You know what I'm saying? And we take it for granted, but have you ever run out of toilet paper when you're sitting on the toilet? Oh, my goodness. And not the fact that you don't have any, but it's in another part of the house. That's crazy. Anyway, I got a little thing where I said, I'm sure everybody know, right there in the thing. But welcome all my subscribers. How's everybody doing? I was watching today's show, and they're talking about shrinkflation, and now they're talking about, what's the word? I'm going to put it right there. Basically, when they're doing little things, the companies are doing little things to save money, and you really, sneakflation is where it's sneaking up on you, you're not really aware. So I had just gone, and once before I was complaining, I did a short complaining about food, and the guy was like, well, just cook at home. Well, I could just spend my money how I want, and I can I could give my opinion about what I spend my money on. It's like giving a review. And companies need that to keep them on their toes. That's what keeps them in business, people giving them feedback. So, what the thing is the feedback accurate? If I come and complain about a business and I'm telling the truth, all that's going to do is help them. Yeah. And the same thing if you're a content creator. Don't always think there's a negative comment as hate or envy, jealousy. A negative comment could actually motivate you to be better. Sometimes things that are said negatively are for your benefit. God could use your enemies to bless you. I've said that over and over again. It's true, even for me. This girl told me one time, she said, you seem like a nice person, but you need to, how did she have to pay more attention to your appearance or something like that? And at first I was offended and I blocked her. And I thought about it, because I would get on here, y'all, no makeup on. I wouldn't have been to touched up my hair because I was off work or whatever, but still, if you're off work and you're getting on camera, you still working. You understand what I'm saying? And so I took offense, I'm not gonna lie. And then one day at work, it was like maybe 3 o'clock, and I had gone to the restroom, and when I got out, went to wash my hair, I looked in the mirror, and the Lord just revealed to me, see what that lady was talking about is true, because guess what? I literally looked like I had been in my office sleep. But I wasn't. It was just that I didn't wear any makeup or anything on my face. I'm older. Sometimes you might have like a little black under your eye that I cover with concealer. So things like that. So if I would have listened when she'd have told me and not be quick to be offended, maybe I could have gotten further. I don't know. But I just know that what she said wasn't wrong. Maybe it may have been her approach. Maybe she didn't even mean it the way I took it. I don't know. But anyway, all I know is that little situation helped me. And I'm all over the place. But I just wanted to say that, throw that in there. But what I'm saying is they're saying about sneakflation, where they're sneaking in ways that they're taking things from you that you're unaware. But if you're a shopper, you are aware, even if they think you aren't. I'm going to run this. Y'all hold on. So anyway, so this leads me to, and I wish I would have shared it. So, not Monday, because Monday was... Did I go Monday? What today is? Yeah, I did. Monday I went back because I had gotten my nails done. I think I showed y'all. And the stuff had started peeling off, and so they had to, and I don't want to get all the way back into that, but make a long story short, I went back for them to fix it, and they ended up having to soak off my other nails. And it was free, but like I told them, I said, y'all could have saved money if you would have actually let me know that I needed to have them soaked off. And my daughter told me, she said, every 2 or 3 times you go, make it like every 3rd time you go ahead and do your nails. She said, because you know, you just getting acrylic and it will lift. I said, okay. Happy Wednesday. I want to say hi to all my new subscribers. And to my stars, welcome back. To those just joining us, it's all love over here. Everything we do is with love and with light. Spreading our love, letting others know that God is real. That's what we're about over here. So... I was just watching the news this morning, and they were talking about there was a federal indictment of some elected officials in Louisiana where they were charging $5,000 for people to get Visa cards. And they said it was hundreds of people that were charged. And what the guy said was so true. He said that what's sad and what they don't know is how many people actually thought it was legal to do this, being that they were public figures. And so what happened was they were at a police chief convention or something in Baton Rouge, and they arrested them early morning before they actually went to convention. So, you know, even though I know they embarrassed, it would have been more embarrassing for them to go and get them out of that meeting, you know, and take them into custody. But you know, the thing is, you know what? My mom always told us, and I've told y'all this, the unjust don't thrive. You reap what you sow. You ain't getting over. You just getting by. Eventually, you're going to get caught when you're doing wrong. And even if on this side you never get caught, you still have to answer to God for the wrong that you do. I think I need some, what to call that guy. Well, it's getting better now. My air, it's just so hot. When I got in the car, it said 99, it's 93, so it's just so hot, it's taking a little while to work. Yesterday, I got back to work, and I realized that my back window, I had let it down because, you know, I was told when you first get in your car, you don't turn your air on. You let the air get to circulate in your car first, because it said it's carcinogens being released when you first turn your air on. If you turn it on when you first get in your car. So, yeah. But yeah, y'all, just do what's right. I mean, you know, sometimes, and they were saying that they had confiscated things at the people's homes, and because it's considered money laundering, all the things that they accumulated, and how does that work? Do they go in and assess what you got since you took that money? You need to put on the signal so people know where you're going. But anyway, sounds like a darn. I love being free. You know what I'm saying? I love freedom. But yeah, so that's what's going on right now in the state of Louisiana. And I was reading another thing in the news. This lady, she was in her 70s. I think she was living in some part of Texas. And if I can find them and share with y'all, the people came around and told her that she could get a free solar panel on some kind of government programming, and that it would be free. She signed the paperwork and everything, not knowing, y'all, that it was going to cost her $100 and something, $25,000, maybe it's 20, no, because they said she had 25 years to pay back $5,000 a year to get those panels after those people had told her it was actually free. And that lady, they had, the news interviewed her, and that poor lady died because she found out she had cancer. And after she died, the day after that, they went ahead and forgave her for that charge. You know, it's some low down, dirty people for money. Don't you know if you got to rob, steal, lie, and all that to get money, that ain't God. That ain't money. That ain't coming from God. If you're in a successful situation in your life and you rob people, you lie to people to get that money, that ain't God. God didn't give you that. That's the devil. Because God is not the author of confusion, and He is not to lie. So, you know, you see people, and that's why I said, you know, this pastor was saying one day, you walking around here envying people because of what they have. You don't know what they're having to do to get what they got, what they're doing without, the sacrifices they had to make. Is it legal what they're doing, or are they getting it under false pretenses, or are they lying? You don't know. You don't know how people get what they're getting. I'll never forget, it was some years ago, a lady was telling me, well, a guy had made a complaint on his job because there was a lady, she was a RN, registered nurse, working for a VA hospital. She was making like $60,000. This was probably like 15 years ago. And she didn't even have her kids on her insurance because her mom was disabled, and the mom was claiming the children and getting benefits for the lady's kids. Now, mind you, the lady carrying the kids is dependents. The children are dependents for IRS purposes, but she's getting free stamps, she's getting medical assistance, and seems, well, I don't know what all she was getting, but I know what she was doing was illegal. And so, if you have to do all that to be successful, then you're not successful. You're a liar. You're a liar. So, like, you know, I feel like, you know, if you, well, I don't feel like I know. If you're having to do anything illegal to be successful, that's not success, baby. True success is you're in a situation you can pay your own bills, you can buy your own food, you can take your own vacations. I saw a guy on YouTube say the other day, and it's true. He said, you're not independent. You're not, if you're relying on government assistance to pay your bills, that's not being independent. You're dependent on them to help you pay your way. Now, I'm not saying there's something wrong with that because people need help. That's not what I'm saying. But don't go around here saying you're independent when you on federal, you're on state benefits, you're getting free housing, or you're on subsidized housing, you're getting SNAP benefits. That's not independent. That's what I'm saying. And if you need the help, there's nothing wrong with that. Just don't use it as a crutch, a temporary crutch, you know? That's all I'm saying. I just want y'all to know that I love y'all and ain't nothing you could do about it. Be blessed, y'all. Bye.
I feel the love. I feel it growing every day. I feel the love. I feel the love. I hope it never goes away.